Hi, Rob Kramarz in Televersity. We're back here with Nascent Biologics, a company built upon technology originating at Scripps Research Institute and some other outside technology. We have next to me Mark Glassy, who's the CEO, and Charlie Sir with the Scripps Research Institute. Both are PhDs in biochemistry, I presume.
I'm in immunology.
Immunology and biochemistry. And let me just remind you again, since you may be looking at this segment separately, that this is a training video for entrepreneurs and investors. It is not a solicitation to buy securities or an offer to sell you securities. It's intended to demonstrate some of the principles of successful company building that makes investors like Tech Coast Angels and others very interested in this kind of company. And so we have a lot to talk to you about how they experience the funding process and what they're doing successfully. And one of the things that they've done successfully is create this team. So let's start. Let me ask you both to answer this simple question. What do you think investors find most attractive in your team?
I'd say, well, there's probably several elements. I think key to all that is probably passion for what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We both care a lot to see the technology succeed, but also to get it out and perhaps benefit those who may need it.
Mm-hmm.
Friendship, of course, is a key element, and Charlie and I have known each other since 81, 82.
Oh, really?
So,
Well, you've known each other that long, so...
So Charlie was a former student of mine at UCSD.
Oh, I see.
And he went on and got his PhD up at UC Davis in immunology, and then came back down as a postdoc at Scripps.
I had no idea. What does it feel like to watch your own students get great?
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And to do better, the student does better than the teacher. It's absolutely awesome.
So you've known each other since 1981, and you still golf together.
I mean, it's been a while since we golfed,
Yeah,
but
so
we're
we haven't
still
golfed.
friends.
Who's the better
I was
golfer?
at his wedding, and
Oh, I see.
and saw his children get born. So I've known Charlie for many years, and then he decided that he needed some help in establishing this platform and
Mm-hmm.
commercialize it. So he gave me a call. He says, "Mark, can you help?" And as it turns out, I had my free calendar. So
So you called him?
Yes,
When,
well-
when was this? What was 2000?
This was 2007, end of 2007. Me and my collaborators came up with this technology.
Yes,
And we were scientists, we're not an entrepreneurial.
yes,
But we knew that this has so much potential, we couldn't just let it disappear.
yes.
So it was kind of chance that Mark walked into my, kind of back into my life, and I said, hey, that's the guy. So,
No, why did you trust him? And this is not a superficial question. He was your professor. You knew him from before. You were friends.
right.
But what occurred in your experience together that you knew you could trust Mark?
I guess I known Mark in almost all kind of scenarios in life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I known Mark for almost 2 years before I went off to graduate school,
I see.
and then we worked together, we partied together, we joked together, and I knew his family, and
Right.
and it was he was a transparent person,
Ah,
and so I knew I could trust him.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. He always followed through when he said he would do something.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, all that integrity and everything
Mhm.
was already there, but
Yeah.
just the fact that I seen his life and his person from all angles,
Aha.
and so that there was nothing that I did not know. I knew that he didn't have a skeleton in his closet and things like that. So.
no, I have it out of my room. I took it out a couple of years ago.
It's really great because so often we run into companies that are built in the last year, and this is actually very rare. From your perspective, Mark, how did you know that you could trust Charlie?
I trained him.
What? Simple. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he learned from the best.
Does he? He doesn't really work for your partners in this.
Absolutely, in every sense of the word. I haven't looked at Charlie in that way since he became the good professor,
Right.
Dr. Sir, back in '88,
89.
89.
Yeah.
He's a colleague and a friend.
Now the company has other directors and so on. Do you consider yourselves the the key figures in the company, or is the team
We all have
more
important,
than just you two?
it's like a baseball team, everybody has their own position, and they're all just as valuable as the other. There's really no one cog that's more important than the others.
Okay.
The 800-pound gorilla in the room, if we could say that, is John Sprent, the good professor. He's the internationally famous immunologist in our group. He's the one that Charlie essentially worked with, and that's all ultimately came out of John's laboratory. Our other colleague, Oner Boyman, professor now in Zurich, Switzerland, he was also trained under both Professor Sir and Professor Sprent, the three of them, and the work came out from that. So it's the team effort, it's science works, the collaborative effort, which we're looking at, and now the entrepreneurial effort is how to get this out into the world.
Now, are all four of you equal partners in the business? Or
Yes.
How did you set it
Yes.
up?
All 4 of
25%?
us are directors,
Uh-huh.
and we're all equally involved in the company,
I
and
see.
now that we've got other shareholders, and of course there'll be dilutions as time goes on.
Right, right.
But we'll keep that ratio amongst ourselves as we move forward.
So how, you said each person has a different role in the company. How would you characterize the difference in the way the two of you lead?
Well, I think I'm more of a kind of hand off all the headaches to Mark.
Got it?
And then I'm concentrating on the science behind our technology and make sure that whatever product we are generating is based on solid science. And the approach we take to generate them
Right.
is as best as it can. But all other logistics of doing it is up to Mark's.
Got it, got it.
uh,
So that kind of makes you the quarterback and he's the halfback. You give him the ball and he runs with it.
Well, but a lot of times I only give the ball away once a year, and then he runs a lot more than than hand over ball again. So
Well, many halfbacks of their fullbacks have been much more famous than the
Yeah, of course.
respective quarterbacks.
Yes.
How would you characterize the difference in the contributions you make?
Well, I think what Charlie's saying is absolutely correct. They're doing the science, making sure that it's solid, it's the best it can be. Nobody wins when you sell sloppy science. Nobody wins. I don't care who it is and what level you're at, from investors to technicians to owners to ultimately the customers. So the best science we can do, and between the founders, we're absolutely the best that we can do with this. And I think that's a really key element in all this.
Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, so now have you had a chance as a team, all four of you, to be interviewed as a group?
No, we've met together on several occasions, board meetings and those things, but not as somebody as like this situation here. No, not so far. Individually, but not together as the four of us.
So the other two, how do they fit into the decision-making process?
We're all equal. Emails, no problem. We send them back and forth to each other, and we need documents to be signed. We just scan them and send them, and they sign
Well,
them.
you're all
and send them.
local here in San Diego.
No, one is in Zurich, Switzerland.
Oh, I see.
Oner Boyman and John Sprent's down in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, I see, okay.
And,
So you guys are the San Diego
Right.
based.
right,
that's
but
correct.
but we were all at San Diego at one point.
Right.
And then Dr. Boyman and Sprent, they moved away to
Right.
their respective positions.
Right. All right, so how are you going to take the next step in the fundraising? What's next for you in the fundraising process?
Well, we've done, from my end, the business plan is essentially finished now, and we've got our financials almost done. They're about 98% done for product and loss statements and revenue income generation, all those kind of things. So they'll be ready pretty much within a few days, and that's the last element. Otherwise, then we go shopping around.
Well, what's interesting about what I want to make really clear here is that this is a platform technology. So although their first product is only one of many products, most of the products of the company, well, the point is the company will have many, many products built upon same or similar platforms coming out of the same labs. And we're talking here about the cytokine technology that your lab has developed. And that's one of the things that makes this company so interesting to investors, is that there are many ways for the investors to profit from the future of this company. It's a many product, one company possibility. There are many ways to take another bite out of the salami, or sometimes many ways to take a bite out of the apple.
Yes,
And I-
absolutely, absolutely correct. Yep.
So what I'd like to talk about in the next segment, I want to dive deeper into what's working for you with investors and what has been your experience with investors in the investment experience so that others can benefit by your experience and not make the same mistakes. We'll be back in a moment.